Germany and the United Kingdom have signed a landmark defense and migration treaty, and this comes as European nations grapple with both the war in Ukraine and President Trump's U.S.-focused administration. So this treaty on friendship and bilateral cooperation includes a promise to, quote, assist one another, including by military means, in case of an armed attack on the other. John Byrnes is the Strategic Director of Concerned Veterans for America, and he joins us now to talk about this. Good morning to you, John. This is quite significant considering the larger geopolitical movements. Explain to us what this friendship treaty really means and entails.
Well, I think the biggest takeaway, Errol, is that, and thanks for having me on, is that Europe is starting to take ownership for its own security. For over 75 years, Europe has depended on the United States through the NATO alliance. Clearly, with the NATO alliance, Britain and Germany already have a mutual defense pact. But this is a signal to the world that Europe is going to start taking care of European security. This is something that Concerned Veterans for America has worked very hard to advocate for. We really appreciate the Trump administration sending signals. It's a big world. Europe is a very, very technically advanced, economically developed country. They've got the European Union, which is not the same as NATO, but European Union has a $20 trillion GDP versus Russia's $2 trillion GDP. So in the big picture, the Europeans really should be securing their own continent, allowing the United States freedom of maneuver to be more secure here at home and in the other places in the world where we do have serious national interests.
Yeah, and of course, President Trump has really pushed a real hallmark of his foreign policy is America first. And this is just one example of how European nations are now helping each other. But doesn't this swing both ways? If we think back to post 9/11, the Iraq War, the war in Afghanistan, when European allies said, we will back up the U.S., what might be a negative component of this, or at least a weakening link in an alliance?
Well, I was in New York on September 11th. I was down at Ground Zero that evening. I was in Afghanistan a few years later. The NATO allies were there. I worked right alongside them. We're not leaving NATO as of right now. This just means that Europe is putting more forth for its own defense rather than relying on the United States. And in our view, the way NATO should work is the United States should be the securer of last resort, not the first tool that you reach for in case of a European security emergency.
Yeah, and that was also lessons from that massive involvement in overseas conflicts. John Byrnes, great to have you and your